So we are going ahead and installing Confluent Kafka on the Dataproc cluster that we have just set up. So Dataproc cluster is available here. I will do SSH on this cluster and I will be using my GitHub repository for installing Confluent Kafka. You can see we have installed Confluent Kafka. We'll click on that. And after that, you will see we have many instructions to install Confluent Kafka. So I'll be using these instructions to install it. So you can see we don't have to switch that directly because we are already in the home directory here. So I will just simply paste these instructions and I will install Confluent Kafka. It will download the packages from Confluent website and it will start installing the installer for Confluent Kafka. So it is basically installing so many component like Confluent Rebalancer, Confluent Control Center. You can see Confluent CLI. So we will be using Confluent CLI to work with the Confluent cluster that we have created. This is sudo distribute mode cluster. So this Confluent CLI is product of Confluent only. So this is for development purpose. And if you go inside this, you will find this CLI. There is a very nice documentation available. And this is basically the command reference. So if you go to command reference, you will find Confluent help, Confluent version. So these instructions we will be executing once everything is installed here. So we will basically be changing the permissions of Zookeeper directory after this. So let's do it. Okay, so this is done. The next step is to start Confluent using Confluent CLI. So Confluent CLI is very convenient tool which is basically enabling us to start various services of Confluent very easily in a very convenient manner. So I'm just doing Confluent version first and it shows me that I'm using 5.2.4 version and I will be doing Confluent help here and it will show me the list of options which are available. So you can see it shows Confluent current, and Confluent current is very important because it shows the path of the data where our actual Kafka data will be stored. So this is very important. Apart from that, there are other interesting commands like log. You can see the logs for a particular Confluent Kafka service. You can start a service, you can stop a service. So all these things are possible. Now here we have Confluent, and in this Confluent we can just use this Confluent start. So when we do Confluent start, it shows us the Confluent current directory, and this is a directory where our actual data will be stored, and it's a temporary directory, and it is given randomly. The name is given randomly, so it will change whenever you start it again. So it's basically a temporary location, and it is starting all the services through this Confluent start. So once it starts, then I can actually show you the status also, like whether the services were started successfully or not. And then we will be stopping a particular service, and then we will be starting a service. So those things we will be doing. So right now it is still doing Confluent start. Okay, so it shows KSQL server is down. But we will see the status again. It is not able to start KSQL server. So let's do one thing. Let's try to start KSQL server separately and see if it is working fine. So we are trying to start KSQL server explicitly. Okay, KSQL server is still down. I'll just see the status again. So KSQL server is not up. So I'll just stop connect. So I want to test if other services are okay. So can we control them or not? So is it a problem with KSQL server or it is a problem with other services also? So I'm stopping a connect service, Kafka Connect, and then I'm starting it. So let's see if it is able to start or not. And then we'll see the status again. Okay, so now we'll see the status of this, and here I can see only KSQL server is having the problem. So now in order to fix this issue, we will just change some configuration of KSQL server. So let's see the port number of KSQL server. We'll change it to some other port. So I'm going to KL server, and I'm going to this particular 8088 and I'll change it to 8089. So I'll just go to insert mode and I'll say 9 and escape. This is escape and exclamation WQ exclamation. So it is saved now. So my KSQL server property has been changed. So what I want to do is I want to just see like if everything is fine on this port or not before I start KSQL server. So I'll use a command netstack and I'll use, let's say, sudo, and I'll say -pltn. So I'm using this command to check everything is fine. So 8089, this is the port that I want to grep. So I will be doing grep here. Okay, nothing is here, and I will be doing 8088. Let's see. Yeah, so there are some processes running on 8088, but 8089 no process is running, so that's good. So let's start the service again, and let's start the KSQL server specifically. KSQL server specifically. Okay, so this is now up. I'll just see the status. If status is okay, Confluent status. Now all are green in color. Yeah, so this is fine. But if you want to start KSQL server, so you have to change few things, like you have to give the right IP address. So you have to give localhost colon 8089 here. Then only you will be able to connect to KSQL. This is the change that you have to do for working with KSQL now. So you are looking at the show tables, nothing is here, but otherwise KSQL is working fine. So I am exiting out of KSQL. So this is the change that you should remember. So hope this makes sense. Like we are able to bring up Confluent services, so many services using Confluent CLI, very convenient command, but you will face some issues. The solution for these issues are already captured here. So please like this video or give your feedback, your reviews, for this particular thing, like how are you finding it. If you have anything, you feel free to reach out to us on Q&A section or the comment box. So thank you so much for your time.